So I got a story today, story time. I was just talking with a patient of mine who had gone through a loss. Unfortunately for her, she had to give birth early and her baby was not able to be sustained. And the thing is that we were talking and it made me realize that not very many people know that this is way more common. That is something that has happened to a lot of women. Whether it's a miscarriage, a stillbirth, a loss during pregnancy, infant loss, all these things happen. And so I wanted to share my story just a little bit because I do think it's important and I think it's something we need to talk about as a society. That there shouldn't be shame around it. It's something that sometimes just happens. So I had a miscarriage the first time I got pregnant back in 2012. And I remember very specifically, I was in this doctorate program at the time, and we were about to go to our ultrasound for the 12 weeks, and I hadn't told anybody yet about it, but I had some friends in that program, and I wanted to share the news, because I figured, well, I had met my 12-week mark, everything should be fine. And that night, of course, I found out that there was no heartbeat and that the baby didn't develop past, I want to say like 9 weeks. And I remember feeling crushed, like absolutely devastated, completely heartbroken, and at the same time completely numb. And I remember having to go back to that class the next week and sharing with everybody the fact that actually I had a miscarriage because I had told everybody, and of course they were asking. It was painful and it was hard, and I had guilt and I blamed myself. All those things that I tell my patients not to do, I did. And this was years ago, and I still sometimes think about that pregnancy and think about that child who could have been. And the more that I talk to my patients, the more that I talk to other women, I realize that I'm not alone, that a lot of women go through this. Now, I can't speak for the dads, but I can speak for myself. And so as a mom now, to all of you who have had losses, it is not your fault. You did everything that you could. Who you are is okay. And your grief and your feelings are normal. And you're not alone.